Greetings, peace and love. Sister Alexis of Divine Notary and the Notary Wellness Mentor. I wanted to do a quick video to talk about how to earn more notary clients or notary signing agent clients. Oftentimes, when people call me, that is the biggest thing. They're just starting off and they have no idea how to get clients. And they think they've done everything that they can to get clients. And in actuality, when you do an audit of their business, you realize why they haven't received as many clients as they ought to receive. And so, a couple of things. One would be to evaluate your service area. What areas do you currently serve? Are you only traveling 10 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles, 40 miles? How many miles are you traveling to get that business? If after doing an observation and an audit of your business and you realize, well, I really don't travel that far, I would consider extending, extending, extending your radius. Grand Rising. Peace and love to you. We're just talking about how to gain more business. And one way is to extend your radius. So if you extend your radius, your service area, then most likely you will get more business. So if you're only traveling a few miles, you might have to extend the amount of miles that you travel. So I might travel a little further than most people, and that's really just because of living in the country areas. You have to travel far, right? Like nothing is close in the country area. So I learned early on when I first moved, I was like, I'm not traveling 45 minutes for nothing because I'm used to living in, I'm from upstate New York, but even in upstate New York, you can still get what you need in a smaller radius. And when you live in a country, that is quite impossible in some areas, right, to get everything that you need. And so I found very fast, actually, one day the lady told me that they take her family spends Saturday just traveling to all the different places that they want to go to for mostly for grocery shopping. I was like, what? You spend all Saturday? So so I realized in order for me to make a living in a happy living from this particular job, Grand Rising, I have to travel a little farther. And so me traveling, at first I did the 50 miles, right? That I would travel 50 miles. Now I hear some people, they're like 50 miles? Absolutely not doing it. But for me to travel 50 miles is a breeze easily because I know in order for me to make the type of money that I want to make, I have to travel for it. And these companies will pay you for it. It's just if you're a newbie, maybe you won't get that type of money. But for me, because I live in a smaller area, and if you are an individual who lives in a country area, you can relate. If you live in a country area, they'll pay you. They'll pay you because not many people want to travel to country areas. And so if you're willing to travel, my first job was 150 off top. And because of COVID, I talked to you about me getting paid way more, like more than double, well, about a double and a half with fees. All right, Alabama in the house. You can all put in where you're coming from. That way, if you know one needs a buddy, or if I need to talk to you all about state specific stuff, I can do so. So, peace and love to Alabama. I have some family in Mobile representing. So I realized early on, travel. Oh, okay. I'll be moving to Florida soon. Okay. Now that's a whole nother ball game. If you're trying to go from New Jersey to Florida, mm, your fees are lower in Florida, Columbus, Ohio. Okay. Your fees are a lot lower in Florida than they are in Jersey. And Florida, I believe, is an attorney state. So you have to have an attorney present, or most of your jobs will come from the attorney. So if you're heading to Florida, you want to gear up and get your media kit together because you will have to send out media kits to Florida lawyer offices and such and gain rapport with them, because you're going to have to be on their good side in order to get jobs, because you will either be doing jobs at the closing, at the office with them, or when you go to a client's house, guess who may be there? Your lawyer. I'll tell you another story and then I'll go back to the topic. I have a mentor program and I have a private group for all the individuals who are in my mentor program. So once you become a mentor, you get into our group. And if you have any questions or anything like that, you can put it into the group. And I also have a monthly mentor program where it's so inexpensive. It's like $17 a month, and you can call me, you can text me, ask me questions about different jobs. So I have a mentee. He lives in Florida, and he reached out to me about some documents. He said he wanted to know what happens when you have late documents. Could he change his fee? And I said, most likely you can try, but oftentimes they really don't like when you change their fee on you. But the terms change, right? So because the terms have changed, sorry, I'm losing my lighting. Because the terms have changed, you want to get paid more, right? Because you agreed to 4 o'clock, you didn't agree to 8 o'clock, so now you want more money. So he tried to negotiate his fee. They end up giving him $10 more, which I was surprised about. So I was like, hey, at least you got the $10. And so he said the documents were late. He's like, what should I do besides sending a message to say when my documents are going to come in? There's nothing else you could really do. You could alert the customer, the client, and let them know that you're not going to be there at the time that you originally agreed upon, to make sure that they're still going to be available. But other than that, it's nothing you could do but just wait. So he finally gets the documents, and then he decides to head over to the client's house. When he gets there, guess who's there? And so I said to him, well, did you stay the whole time? Yeah, give thanks for the likes. As you come in, go ahead and press the like button. And so I said, did you stay there the whole time? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, you stayed there the whole time during the signing? I said, yeah. So afterwards, and I was thinking, and I knew what that meant in my head. If the lawyer is executing the documents, but it was your signing, but you were late, the lawyer got there 5 minutes before you, so he wasn't that far along in the packet. Who do you think is going to get paid for that job? Who do you think is going to get paid for that job? And I didn't say anything at the time because he was still in the closing texting me. So once he left, he reached out to the signing company, and they were confused and did not realize that the lawyer was there. Yeah, right. And he gets paid a $25 fee. When he stayed there the whole time, he printed the documents, he did all that traveling, and only get paid $25. And I said, well, did you get a print fee? And he was like, no. And I said, you need to ask for a print fee. Anytime you go to a place and you've been assigned to that job, then a lawyer is there. Don't just give me a $20 travel fee. You need to give me a travel fee and a print fee. So at least I could walk out of there with $50, at least, but he didn't know about it. I guess he didn't feel comfortable with requesting it. So he never requested it. But I'm telling you, y'all, some people have quit this business because they are so annoyed with the antics of some of these signing companies, title companies, these lawyers' offices. You have to be on your P's and Q's, and you have to have backup plans to the backup plan, because these people will take advantage of you. So just be mindful of that, okay? So that's my story of the day. The other way to earn more business is to add on to your services. Add on to your services. If you're just doing loan signing, maybe you want to do some general notary work. I know notaries that get paid a fair amount. I'm sorry if the phone is shaking. I don't have my tripod today. I didn't plan on doing a video. But I know some notaries who only do general notary work and get paid a fair amount. So add on to your services. Me, I'm a photo inspector. I'm a process server. I'm a loan closer. I do general notary work. I do whatever is going to bring in revenue. If it brings me a source of revenue, then I'm going to do it. Well, within reason, y'all. We ain't doing no raunchy legal stuff, but within reason. So that has helped me a lot. Can't find a printer and feel like I'm overstudying, researching, very interested in mentoring. Better focus. Cool. Reach out to me. My information is on my channel. You can email me. You can go to the website where you can get the information for the mentorship. You said you're taking the notary test or the signing agent test? The state notary test or the signing agent test? So adding on to your services can really, really help. I'm also a tax preparer. So there's so many different areas that you can go into that are all relatable to signing agent work. It's really up to you. Signing agent work, mobile notary work, fingerprinting, whatever you decide to do to add on to your business, I would learn, be a master at the basics, and learn as much as you can extensively, but at least be a master at the basics. And then once you've learned that, then you can go to another level. And then, yeah, getting a mentor. I'm not just saying that, y'all, because I want y'all to pay me, because it doesn't have to be me. You could just go to anyone. I just say get a mentor. Get someone that you can call on at any hour of the day within reason, to help you, to support you, to give you ideas. Someone who is doing it. I don't know if anyone is on Clubhouse. Any of y'all on Clubhouse? I'm going to do a separate video about Clubhouse, but there are so many avenues where you can get free help if you don't want to pay anyone. Of course, YouTube is a way, right? But just get help. Don't feel like you're in this by yourself, because you're not by yourself. There's so many ways that you can get the support that you need to grow your business. When I first started, I had like the ultimate mentor, right? I had Andre Hatchett as I haven't gotten an invite yet. Yeah, I don't have any invites to give out either. So sorry about that. But there are groups on Facebook who, I can't think of it. It's like Clubhouse. If you just do a search and go Clubhouse. Okay, cool. If you just go a search for Clubhouse and hold on one. Oh, for some reason I didn't see all of these messages, but hold on. I'll go back to the messages and answer some of your messages. Okay. A media kit. A media kit is basically like your proposal. It will have an introduction of who you are, who you are, meaning your business, what services you order, available 24 hours. Because at that point, how could you not need me, right? I have other people that I can call on just in case I'm not available 24 hours. And you can most likely get more business if people know that you're 24 hours. So get that media kit together. You could also go online to Google. If you are one of my mentees, then you have a sample kit of that in our online Facebook group. But you can Google media kit and just tailor it to your business. Tailor it to your business. Who do I recommend on Clubhouse? Me, at Sister Alexis. I try to do as much, whenever I can, do different rooms, but you can just go on to just put on the search and put in notary signing agent, and then follow anyone who has that title in their description, in their name, and put it on. If they have any events already on the calendar, then you could go ahead and book it onto your calendar. So when it comes up, you'll get an alert. The only thing is, when you deal with someone on Clubhouse or in general, you just want to make sure they're actively working. Because what I found out that some of the moderators, and no shade, no disrespect, I'm just being honest with y'all. Some of the moderators have never done any jobs. They were moderating and never did any jobs. they studied a lot. And so they felt like they could moderate a group. I actually saw a meme and it was like someone who doesn't make $1 million, and then they say to another friend, we should create a clubhouse room to teach people how to make $1 million, and they never made $1 million. It's weird, y'all. It's weird. So you want to make sure that you have somebody that's actively working and not just someone who study really well, because it's different, right? We know that it's different. It's just like babysitting and having your own child. Isn't that different? Like babysitting someone's child and having your own child are different. So it's the same. Having a moderator who just studied and never been on jobs. There's certain things that you're not privy to because you've never been on a job. All right, let me see what the question is. Also, LaShawn Jenkins, she told me, which I was happy. LaShawn Jenkins, Notary Institution. She let me know. She told me that I started before her, and she recreated some of my videos, which I wasn't mad about because at least she told me. She wasn't, weird about it. She's pretty good. I like her style. She's not currently a loan signing agent. I don't even think she's currently, I think she said she gave up her commission. But either way, she was in the business though. She was in the business, and now she just does courses. She just offers courses on them, which is totally fine. I feel like she is very knowledgeable, Notary Institution. And the other ones, I don't really know them. I don't really know them. LaShawn just told me she had been following me. She recreated a lot of my videos. And we just connected on Clubhouse. And yeah, that's my new buddy. Say the streams of income again. I think it's on my thumbnail too, but I'm a photo inspector. I'm a process server. I am a notary mentor. I'm a loan closer, signing agent, and general notary work. I'm also a tax preparer. And in those regards, in terms of this particular field, those are the areas that I am. I also do some other things. I'm a farm mom. I have a farm. I am a doula. By trade, I'm an esthetician, so I make amazing soaps. If you have any issues with your skin, just want to use better products, reach out to me. I have my Instagram for my soap business is Divine Natural Products on Instagram, and that website. So I do a lot of different things. I feel like I'm one of those, when I was young, I knew that I wanted to do a lot of things, and my mother was like, well, just do it. And I was like, huh? School always teaches you have to do one thing. If you want to be a nurse, go ahead and be a nurse. Go ahead and be a doctor. And I was just like, well, can I be this, and this? And people would say, well, you should just focus in one area. And that never appeased me. And my mother was like, well, do what you want to do. You want to do that too. And my mother is the same exact way. My mother is a very well accomplished real estate investor. She owns several properties. And so I've been in the field actively watching people forever. I pick up my mom's rent very often. She's actually in an RV traveling the world, her and her husband, and of 30 years, and they're all over the world right now. So I've been in the field of real estate for a long time. I'm actually getting my real estate license again. I had it early on when I was a new mom, and it just was a lot to handle. And I was moving from state to state when I was married the first time, and it was just a bit much, and I never kept up with my license. But this time I'm going to make sure that I keep it up. I don't necessarily know. I've got all right, let's see. Look at the comments real quick. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mr. Red. Very different. Any photo inspection services that you recommend? Love what you're doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Any photo inspection? Well, I will say this. If you want to start somewhere, just do Metro inspection. Metro inspection. I think I have an affiliate link, but whatever. It's okay. Metro inspection. Metro inspections is where I can't say it's where I started out. It's one of the companies that I started out with, Metro Inspections. And Metro Inspections will, you just go to them, sign up. If there is a referral link, if they say how'd you hear about us, just tell them Alexis Carter, and sign up to them and wait for your assignments. Now sometimes people are like, Alexis, the fees are too low. Okay. If I wake up and it's raining, I talk to the creator, negotiate some sunshine. Okay, it's just what I do. um, Negotiate, y'all. Negotiate. Don't be afraid to ask for more. A closed mouth don't get fed. I say that all the time. Closed mouth don't get fed. It is so true. Negotiate. Negotiate your fees. Let them know. Like, I feel more comfortable at $90 an hour. I mean, $90 for each assignment. Whatever it is, whatever you feel comfortable with. If you don't want to do a $25 signing, a photo inspection, don't do it. Don't do it. But if you feel like, you know what, I want to do it because I want to get the hang of it, then I will increase my fees because now I'm worthy of $50 or $90. And when I mean worthy, meaning I have the experience now in order to in order to do that. So if that's what you want to do, that's fine. People say, well, did you start off lowballing yourself? I never started off lowballing. I never, 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 never. Yep. Metro Inspection is the company. So go ahead and go to Metro. I want to say it's even metroinspection.com. Go to Metro Inspections, fill it out. They'll start sending you assignments. And if you don't get assignments, call them. Call them and say, hey, this is Alexis out of Virginia, and I filled out an application X amount of weeks ago, and I job. Just wanted to make sure that my profile was up and active, and they'll look into it and say yes or no. I'm about to, excuse me, y'all. Sorry, it's so gross. I'm starting to have allergies this morning for some reason. But anyway, fill out the information, and yeah, they'll let you know if your profile is active, if it's inactive, if they need more information from you, or if they're just waiting to get assignments in your area. Due to everything that's going on in our environment, we won't say that word because I thank you. I just, it's weird. When I moved here, I started to develop an allergy. And when I went and talked to an allergist, she said most people who move into this area that aren't from here they develop an allergy. It's something about the new grass or pollen, or it's weird. When I go abroad, I do not have any allergies. I don't sneeze. I'm not congested or nothing. It's so weird. But as soon as I step in the airplane, pardon me, in the airport in this country, I start sneezing. I'm allergic to America. As much as I love America and its resources, it gives me allergies. It's so weird. Let me look at the comments real quick. Go for it. If you have some questions, ask now while you're here. Natasha. I'm always willing to answer questions and help people out. You know, there are some things that naturally I created a business from this, so I charge for it. But when I'm on these platforms, this is the time. I currently live in Texas, but plan to move to Virginia in April. Cool. Go to the Secretary of State. Really? In North Carolina? Yeah. No. See, the thing about notary, how agent, and if you're a real estate agent in Texas and you move to Virginia, you can have it transferred possibly, or like for me, I'm an esthetician in 3 states. I had reciprocity. I had to fill out an application, make sure I had the particular hours, and then I can transfer. It's not like that with notary. If you move from state to state to state to state, you have to go to the Secretary of State of the new state, never the old state or the current state. So you have to go to the Secretary of State in Virginia. Once you get here, or once you have an address, then you can start the process for your new notary commission. That's a good question. See if I miss any other ones. So once you get your commission, once you put in the application for Virginia, it's $45. It's $45. And then you could go ahead. Once they approve you, you get your commission, you get sworn in, then you're pretty much ready to roll. And you would go to your, you would go to, well, there's nothing to study. There's no test here. There's no test in the state of Virginia for notary. So there's nothing to study. If anything, you will go ahead and get your Virginia notary manual. Go ahead and print it. Yeah. We're lucky like that. We don't have a test. So just go and get the Virginia Notary Manual. You can Google Virginia Notary Manual PDF, print the PDF, put it in a 3-ring binder. When you're laying in the bed, getting ready to go to sleep for the night, pull it in with you, get a marker, and start to highlight the areas in just come from be familiar with the different laws, rules, and regulations of the state, but we don't have a test. You need to update your directories. So if you've signed up to different directories, ooh, I love that question. So when you sign up for different directories, you need to update your new address. Do you plan on going back to North Carolina or Texas, Natasha? Because if you do, then you can maintain your commission for Texas if you plan on going back to Texas, and you can still utilize it. But if you don't, then just update all your information when you move to Virginia. Make sure if you're on SnapDocs, change your SnapDocs information, and you'll be ready to roll so your alerts can come to you for Virginia. Do I rap 24/7? Rap. Yes, I do. I rap 24/7, and I talk about this sometimes. All right, I'll come back to your question, Natasha. Go for it. I'll answer Psalms. Issue with company seeing my raps. All right, so this is what I do. I'm black on black on black on black on black. So I wear a black head wrap. I'm very professional. I always wear a suit. I'll wear maybe a white or gray shirt or something like that, but I usually wear really dark colors because it's seen as, oh, okay. So sorry, I was about to say what Natasha said. Let me go back. So I wear all black because most companies consider that to be more professional when you're wearing all black. So I wear all black, no problems. What I do find, Psalms, is that people tend to talk to me about religion all the time. And I think it's because I have a head wrap. Because they want to know if I'm Muslim or not, and I'm not, and I'm not against it. That's how I started my journey. But there were some things that I was uncomfortable with. So it's not my lifestyle. So I know how important it is to cover your hair. Some people do know the science behind it. Some people don't. That's for a whole nother live. But it doesn't, what is that? It doesn't affect my jobs. What I will say is, you know how oftentimes some of the companies may want a picture of you? I never put a picture. I put my business logo in there. So people don't know what I look like in so my business is Divine Notary. So my picture's not on there. When I do go into places to advertise my business, I don't do it. I pay someone who would look acceptable, and I sit with them, make sure they know me and my business culture as well as possible, and I send them in to go to advertise my business for me. I don't do it because I know that even if people say that they don't discriminate, that they do discriminate and they will discriminate. So I alleviate that by sending someone else in there, and I don't put my picture on any of my profiles when it comes to my signing agent business. Let me look at another question. Do you have any info on Groundworks Inspection Company? No, Stanley, I don't know them. I never worked for them. Are you working for them now, Stanley? Groundworks? I'm totally new to some of the terms you're using. I'm new to. Oh, I'm sorry, Natasha. So if there's anything that I say that you're unclear about, just let me know and I'll backtrack. How long do I have to work as a notary before? No, you don't. You could become a signing agent any day of the week. You don't have to have a specific. Okay. I had to move. I had to move out the sun. Hold on. All right. Can you hear me? I had to get out the sun. It was making my device overheat. So I was answering, how long do I have to? Okay, yeah. Okay, so all right, people tend to get this confused. So the Secretary of State governs notaries. Signing agent is, for lack of a better explanation, signing agent is a term that's been made up by someone. And hold on. Made up by someone, and then the National Notary created a course that certifies you. But that's not required. It's training is always recommended, whether you get training with me, whether you get training at the Notary Wellness Mentor with my company, with Andre Hatchett. Just get training. That's what I say. Just get training. And or if you were like me when I first started, I was self-trained and then I later took courses. So it's not governed by anyone. Does that make sense, Natasha? Does that make sense, Natasha? Are you still on? I think the live might be delayed. I use my other device to respond to the email that someone needs me to respond to. Antoinette, what does a processor do? You ever heard the term, when people give you paper and say, you've been served? So that's what we do. We handle legal documents. We make sure we're like messengers of documents. We make sure that um, legal documents are served. And then we are the individuals who just basically state that the legal documents were served. We fill out paperwork that we served them at a particular time, day, and then we give a description of them if we actually served them in person. So that's called if you serve them in person, if you posted them, or anything like that. Do you recommend for? And I recommend Jen. It's the title. I don't know why I'm forgetting the name right now, but the title trainer. The training exchange. The training exchange. Let me read messages. Understood. Thank you. People think I'm Muslim. Yeah. Oh, okay. You use an old pick. That's fine if you want to use an old pick. That's fine. I've been rapping since I was for half my life. So with my he rap, but I was always in love with Erica Badu back then. This evolved Erica Badu. Back then, I used to see her and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, she looks so pretty with her head wrap." And he would make products and he would go back to the city all the time, and so he knew where the fabric stores were. And he was like, "Oh, you want to wrap your hair? Sure." So he was the first person that would buy me wraps and stuff like that. And that's kind of how I started rapping, and I loved it. Like the way people treat you when you have your hair wrapped and you dress modestly is vastly different. If I can think back to before wrapping my hair, I've always kind of been a modest dresser, but not to this extent. And so the way people treat you, it's just different. Like when you just know what I'm talking about. Oh, it's a scheduled post. Hold on. All right, I'm sending something out. So something else that I do, I also have a Divinely in Tune virtual assistant company, Diva. And what we do we do a lot of different things, but one of the things we do, if you're a new notary and you do not want to sign up to different signing agent companies for yourself, we could do that for you. We have a plan where we could do either 50 for you or we could do 100 for you. And we sign up to all the different companies for you on your behalf. So I like that. That's been helpful for a lot of notaries because first of all, do you even know 50 companies? When you first sign up, you don't know 50 companies. You don't know where to begin. So we utilize that service to help new notaries kind of get a jump start to their business because you could spend the first few months just figuring out who the companies are. So we cut that part out for you by giving you the 50 companies, signing up to all 50 comment at first, but you'll get that money back the first month. People say to me all the time, how long did it take you to get the money back? In the first month. In the first month. I also did not spend a lot of money. It was under $1,000. It might even been like $500 or $600 that I first invested in my business. And I got that money back in the first month. So it wasn't an issue for me. So I didn't really trip too much, but it did take me a long time to start because I wasn't exactly sure if I was going to get the money back. But once I watched my mom and I kind of started around the same time. She did start before me, but what I did was I signed her up to a lot of the directories, and then she started to get the jobs. And I tell a story all the time, but she would come into our office and she would wave her checks and she'd be like, "You better get your stuff together, girl. Better get your commission because these checks are good and they're coming in." And I was like, "Okay, I see you. I see you." And so I was like, I need to hurry up and get all of this together and get this started so I can start getting out in the field and earning money. Natasha, if you go to my channel, all my information is there, my email And my website, Notary Wellness Mentor, is the website. You can find me on Notary Wellness Mentor on Instagram. You can find me at Sister Alexis on Clubhouse if you're on Clubhouse. And if you just Google me, you'll find me. Now, Georgia is a tough state because Georgia is also an attorney state that, for the most part, requires an attorney to do loan closings. There are some closings that you can do without an attorney, but I'm told that you're still technically supposed to have an attorney. Some attorney states are more strict than others, but I hear it's definitely a harder state to do. It is possible. Are you currently commissioned there now, or you're looking to be commissioned there? Are you currently commissioned in Georgia now? Because if you're commissioned there now, I would just, oh, okay, okay. So what I would do is go ahead and get your commission. Then once you get your commission and you're sworn in, I would sign up to SnapDocs. And once you sign up to SnapDocs, you will start to get alerts. Then when you don't get the results that you may be looking for, then you want to sign up to between 50 and 100 companies. 50 and 100 companies. Yeah. We were on Clubhouse and just recently, and I do have mentees in Georgia, and some of them are making some money, but not the type of monies that other states are making. And my mentor, Andre Hatchett, is in Georgia. So I would suggest that you hook up with Andre Hatchett. You have to be prepared to save some money to get any mentorship from him because he has been in the business for so long. Naturally, you got to pay the price to work with him. But it is worth it because you'll have someone that's very knowledgeable about the business and about Georgia in particular. So that could be very helpful to you. A lot of the notaries on Clubhouse were kind of complaining about not getting the type of money that they thought they would be able to get. So I would say do the 50 to 100 companies, signing up for them, reaching out to them, letting them know that you're available for work. And then when you do work, make sure you do the best work possible that you can do for them. That way they call you back. Yeah, you can. Are you currently a notary there, Tracy? All right, listen, y'all. This what I'm gonna tell you. This is what I'm gonna tell y'all. And some of you might drop off after this call. Some of you might drop off after I say what I'm about to say. The three people that I mentioned, this is my biased opinion. Myself, for the Notary Wellness Mentor, is someone that can support you for your notary goals, only because I'm speaking from experience. I've made $1,200 in a day multiple times. It's my norm now when I do work. Andre Hatchett, the Notary School, and LaShawn Jenkins, only because I've talked to her. I haven't actually taken any of her courses. She started before me. I mean, pardon me, she started after me. But in terms of what I see from her work ethics, is that's the only people that I can actually say, go ahead and take their course. I am a proponent for Black business. Okay. If you're not Black on here, I apologize, but I have to focus on self-love of my people and my community first before I focus on anyone else. I don't know anything about Mark Will's course. I'm sure there are groups for Mark Wills that you could reach out to, but I'm a proponent of Black business first and foremost. I hear that the course is great. I did hear that it is important to take more than one course. From the people who did take his course, I do hear that you can tell that he loves what he does. But see, I told you people was going to drop off after I say that. I don't know why people are afraid of that. Like, to say, like, I'm a proponent of black business. I am. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these companies aren't pouring their money back into black communities. They're not pouring their money back into black communities. Like, period. Like, so it's just like, if you care about black communities, then why not give your money to black businesses? So I don't know if any of you are familiar with Dr. Boyce Watkins, Dr. Claude Anderson, even Andre talks about it. Like, we are in a position where we are struggling as a community. Yeah, I said that. Mark is passionate about what he does. Yeah, I said that. That's what they said. If you're an individual who is looking to just get training and you don't care about what the company is about or anything like that, you just want the services, then you could go ahead and go get training from anybody you want. But when I circulate my dollar, my dollar first goes to my community. However I can. I'm buying black skincare products. I'm attempting to buy black clothes, or I'm making my own clothes, or whatever it is. That is my objective first and foremost. We know how our money. So we know that our dollar does not stay in our community long before it's out of our community. And that is a problem. And if that's not a concern for you, then that's fine. But it is a concern for me. So while you're watching, I just want to let you know that. So I won't ever say, go to Mark Will's course, because I don't know anything about his course. I just have seen him, and I've heard different things about it. I'm in the notary community, so you hear different things about it. If you're interested in taking his course, go for it. But I've had people come to me who are mentored by me, and then will say, well, Mark said, well, call Mark. Call Mark. Call Mark. No shade, but call Mark. Like, no, you don't want to call Mark because you don't want to pay Mark's fees. I'm lower than Mark naturally, so you will come to me maybe to pay me, but then you want to tell me what Mark says. It don't work like that. If you want to know what Mark says, go to Mark. Mark is in California, so Mark is well versed in California. I'm in 3 different states, but I take pride in trying and striving to learn what all states are focused on. So I created a guide that's not out yet that talks about the different rules, regulations, and suggestions for different states. But I don't know. I don't know about Mark's course, but I'm very familiar with Andre's course, and that's who I would recommend. And when I mentioned LaShawn Jenkins from the Notary Institution, I recommend her energy. I don't know what she teaches, but I know her work ethics because I've been working with her. We have moderated some groups on the Clubhouse as well. Are there any other questions? I know we kind of got off topic. I'm trying to send an email at the same time. So if y'all see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. If there are any other questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you. Yeah, but that's what it is. Oftentimes people, I don't know, people don't like when I get on those topics and start talking about that. They feel like it has no reason in business, and I reason in business because we are really suffering finances, and we have not improved one iota in terms of our finances, and it's a struggle. And that's why I've created so many businesses, because I feel there's a need in certain areas, and I want to be, if I can't find someone to support in that area, then me and my mindset, the way I've been set up, is to create it yourself. So create, oh, I can't find the right soap that I'm looking for. Fine, I'm gonna create it. That's one of the reasons why I became a soap maker. Well, no, that's not why I became a soap maker. I became a soap maker because I had goats. My partner and I decided to start farming, and that's kind of how that started. And there's just so many options out here. Yeah, that's a big one. Don't feel like you're alone either, Tiffany. And the video is lagging. Your comments are coming in kind of late, but don't feel like you're alone, Tiffany, in terms of just needing motivation. I actually believe I did a video or did a live and talked about that, how that could be a big issue. Sometimes people come to me and they say, I have so much going on. And when I tell them, not that I feel like my job duties are greater than yours, but we have 10 goats, we have 2 donkeys, and we have 3 dogs. We have three properties amongst us. We have 4 cars amongst us. Saying that to say there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And sometimes people say, well, how do you manage so much? Do you get overwhelmed? I actually don't get overwhelmed, believe it or not. And I think it's because I know how to say no when no is necessary. And I know how to say yes when yes is necessary. I don't overcommit myself. There were times where I did overcommit myself, but I don't overcommit myself anymore. And so how do you motivate yourself? You know how I motivate myself? I remember my why. Why did I get into this business? What would this business do for me if I excelled? What would this business do for me if I excelled? It will create let me tell you this story, second story of the day. When I was getting my school together, I was getting the Notary Wellness Mentor School together. And I was talking to Andre Hatchett, who I consider my notary mentor. And he said to me, and I was like, oh, well, I feel like this isn't done and this isn't done and I need to do this. And he said, hold on, stop. He said, what was the reason why you wanted to start your school? And I told him, well, I want to help people. And I kept getting emails and it was kind of hard to answer all of these emails. So I figured and he said, by not finishing school. And I said, no. He said, well, get it done then. And that was it. Like, I just needed to put it in perspective. What's my reason for starting this business? Because I want to have a flexible schedule, because I want an additional source of income, because I just want to feel a little bit closer to work freedom. Okay, cool. Now, by not doing that, am I getting it? Nah, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. But every day I go to work for somebody else, they're getting it. They're getting all the best of me. They're getting the best of me. And their children are getting the best of me. Why? Because my outcome, my work that I produce for them daily, their children are reaping the benefits. Their grandchildren are reaping the benefits. So I had to really think about that. And so when I talk to clients, I understand that happens. But you want to engulf yourself in the industry. Engulf yourself. Engulf yourself. Watch videos every day. Watch a video every day. Watch a live every day. Make sure you have your alerts on for different people. Go to Clubhouse. Do whatever you have to do. My daughter's about to interrupt us, y'all. What you looking for? Yeah, it's in there. You better smuggle it in. So, honey, sanitizer. But yeah, so I just had to remind myself of why I was doing this and how, yes, the temporary needs are getting met by going to work every day, by helping them, these corporations. And I don't want to sound like that person, like, oh, the white man. I don't want to sound like that, but I want to sound like that, but I don't want to sound like that. Because you have to really think about this, man. Like, we go to work every day to fuel everybody else's dream. Yes, it does help my dream a little bit, because our jobs, right? Anyone who has a regular job, is a vehicle. If you're not using it as a vehicle, then you're not really serious. And I don't mean no disrespect when I say that. I promise you, I don't mean no disrespect. I never want to disrespect any of y'all because I feel y'all are on here to watch, to get the information, to get the knowledge so you could do better. But sometimes we need a reality check. We need someone to mush us and be like, yo, get it together. Who cares about partying? Who cares about brand new shoes? You got to be willing to like wear the same shoes every day for a year. You feel me? You got to be willing to not get your hair done if that's necessary or do your own hair so you can fuel your dream. You can take that money that they're fueling their dream with and now you can reroute it so you can fuel your family's dream because that's what's most important, your family's dream. You got to be willing to take 80% of your money if you can and save it or and reinvest. You got to be willing to do it. If you're not willing to, and I find that very often, sometimes people say, well, how can I make the money that you make, Alexis? Sister, how can I make the money you make? How can I do that? How can I, how can I do that? You got to be willing to make sacrifices. You got to be willing to drive that hoopty and work every week, every month, every year and put aside the money that's necessary to drive you into that next vehicle if that's what's required for your family. You got to be willing to sacrifice. Most people aren't willing to sacrifice. They want to make the money that I make, but they're not willing to sacrifice. Nobody's willing to sacrifice. You got to be willing to sacrifice. You got to be willing to eat peanut butter and jelly every day. You got to be willing to, me, it wouldn't be peanut butter and jelly. For me, if I were going to do that, I had to do that. It was garbanzo sandwiches. You know how you do like tuna fish sandwiches? Well, I don't eat meat. I don't eat fish. My family, none of us do. And we've been like that. My daughter is 16. Yep, I got a 16-year-old. Go ahead and live a journey where we did not have to sacrifice animals. So that was what we did. So we take garbanzo beans, chickpeas, and we make it just like you would make tuna fish salad, and we just use chickpeas. So you got to be willing to eat chickpea sandwiches every day for a few weeks. Whatever it is, you got to be willing to make that sacrifice. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Exactly, Natasha. Yes, Jen, I'm telling you. Yes, Brother Henry. Yes. Yes, Psalms. Yes. Antoinette. Exactly. And oftentimes people aren't willing to put in that work. They're willing to work double overtime and overtime for everyone else, but not for yourself. Not for yourself. So, woo. Sometimes it makes me kind of sad, to be honest with you, and I try to observe what's going on, but not absorb it. But every once in a while, I do absorb it, not for long. I take my moment to absorb it because it's important to feel, and then I transition. I digress. But you just got to be willing to do the more than the norm, more than your competitor. When I first started, I was doing tons of YouTube videos and it takes a lot. This is okay. But when I do the videos where I'm like, I'm done. It takes a lot of energy out of me. So I had to learn to make adjustments. Currently my sacrifice is driving. I if I told my friends I didn't like driving, they'd be like, you lying, because you drive all the time. I don't, but I said, how am I get there? If I don't drive the vehicle, how am I get there? So I have to sacrifice me not wanting to drive. Also, me not liking going to other people's homes. I don't like going to you think, why? Why I want to go into the Becky's home? I don't. So I get what I need to get and I get out. So sometimes you just have to put your pride aside and do what's necessary so we could just eat, so we could just have a buffet. You feel me? So we could have whatever we need that's required to get there. I go to Africa every year. I didn't go this year last year because of COVID, but every year. So whatever I need to sacrifice throughout the whole year. And sometimes that means also, but pre-COVID, sacrificing I try not to miss that many games, but I try not to miss more than 2 games a season of my children's games. But other than that, I'm that mom that's coming in there trying to leave from a closing so I can run to my children's basketball games. My children know, they look up, that's the sacrifice. I do whatever necessary. And then I tell myself after a certain time period, I no longer need to. Maybe now the sacrifice looks a little differently, but either way, that is a big deal, y'all. In order to have a successful business, what are you willing to sacrifice? So keep that in mind. So just to recap and then close out, you can ask any questions while I recap and then I'll go ahead and close out. But in order to increase your business, you have to increase your services, add on to your services. Add on to your services. I remember a question coming through about training. I did one video on tax preparation and I will do more videos on it, but I don't necessarily do any mentorship for it. Will I create a program? I'm not really sure. I don't have that many questions about it. I don't get that many inquiries about it at all. I have to look at the stats for that video to see how many people actually watched it, but it's not one of my top videos. So I'll have to go back to that. But that's how you increase your revenue, your funds. That's how you increase your earnings, by increasing the different types of services you have. So if you have to add on process serving, and most states, I should say, don't really require training. I have some videos where I do ride-alongs. I had to buy different equipment. So now I have like a body cam that I'll use when I do process serving, but it's people are hurting right now. I'm not serving anybody. It's just not fair. I'm not serving anybody. But most of the documents that I serve are debts for like store credits, like J. Crew, Lowe's, like they got a credit card for them and now they owe them. And so those are most of the servings that I do. I don't do divorces anymore. I felt like that was bad energy. And at the time I was trying to get remarried. And so I felt like it would cancel out what I was trying to do if helping people if I'm helping people get divorced. So I stopped doing divorces. I don't do any evictions. I felt like, because a lot of the evictions that I were doing were on our own people, and most of the time people will give you a story of why they were evicted. And although I do, as a homeowner, I do understand as a landlord how important it is that you still need to get paid, because you as a landlord still need to pay your mortgage if you have a mortgage. Luckily, we did tax properties, so we acquired deeds through that way, so we don't have mortgages. But it just didn't feel good trying to evict people. So I don't do those anymore. But the types of process servings that I do now, I'm not taking them during this time period, but when I was doing them was, store credits. If you have a credit card through Macy's, Lowe's, J. Crew, was the big one, and Home Depot was one that I would do. Different department store process servings, but that's it. Apostille service, if you live next to your state buildings, like if you're in Richmond or any big state where you're dealing with the government agencies, the embassy is what I was trying to say, the embassy, then I would go ahead and do apostille services. But if you're far from it, I wouldn't even do it. Apostille basically is just, you're a courier. You're a courier for a particular company or client or whatever, and you deliver the documents to the embassy to have them notarize them. You don't notarize as an apostille. You don't notarize as an apostille. You're a courier to bring it to the state embassies, the embassies to have them notarize. I am actually in an attorney state. I am in an attorney state. So some people are I'm a double whammy. I'm an attorney state and I'm in a title producer state. Hold on. Let me check the comment. Exactly. Yeah, I'm clear, man. My mom said I've been like this since a child. I've been very clear about my do's and my don'ts. Very clear. And I don't have to do the chicken neck or turkey neck to get my point across. I could do it very eloquently and ladylike to let you know what I will and will not do with no problem, and to learn how to negotiate to get the things that I do want. And that's really important. You'll find that oftentimes in this business, you'll get a lot of low ball fees, so you have to dig deep in yourself, or you have to study different techniques. You can go on YouTube and find different techniques to help you learn how to negotiate, and maybe I'll do a video about that, just different negotiation skills and techniques that I utilize to get my point across, to get the money that I need. Sometimes people say, like, how do you get a job for $400 per job when I'm only getting a job for $100? That's why I've posted my checks. I've posted the fees that I've gotten, the alerts that I've gotten, and to let people know, because like I'm not here to scam anybody. It's not beneficial to me. It's not good karma for me. Like, I want to sleep at night, and sometimes people say, well, it's business, and it's just like, no, like, scamming people is not business. It's not the type of business that I'm interested in being in. At the end of the day, I have to be careful because I am public. People can find me if they wanted to. Like, I'm not about that life. I'm not. No, 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 no. I try to be as open as possible about this, and then you can determine what you want to do from there. I am commissioned in 3 states. I am commissioned in Maryland, Delaware, and Virginia. Period. So yeah, adding on to your services to get more business as well. That's one way, adding on more services to get more business. All right. That's like it. If you're doing something and it's not working, it would be insanity to just keep doing what you're doing and it's not working. So one thing that you can do is add on services. The other one is extend your service area. Extend your service area. You have to extend your service area. If you're not getting any business in the 20-mile radius, you need to extend your service area and go a little further, in order to get more business. That also means tacking on more fees. I'm commissioned completely. Oh, what attorney state are you in? Because it depends. I'm in 2 attorney states. I was looking for this yesterday. Yeah, depending on what attorney states. Oh, yeah, Georgia. You can still earn money from Georgia. I would reach out to Andre Hatchett, or at least subscribe to his channel. I'm not sure if you're able to afford what he's charging, but if you can't afford what Andre Hatchett is charging, you could at least subscribe to him to find out that he even has a podcast now. He has a podcast. He has the YouTube channel. He has the Instagram channel, because he's in Georgia. He was my mentor. When he was my mentor, he was in New York. And I remember at the time I was in New York and Connecticut, and he kept texting me, you commission yet? You commission yet? You commission yet? Because he was willing to get me all these jobs between notary work and fingerprinting. So don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. If you're on Clubhouse, I would definitely get on Clubhouse and follow everyone who has notary attached to their name, and listen to the different groups that you may be privy to. Ask questions when you can. Find a buddy too. I always say that. find a notary buddy. If you're in Georgia, you need some notary buddies. If you're in Maryland, you need some notary buddies that you can call on, and hopefully maybe one of them can be your partner. That's the end goal, to find someone who could be a partner to you, because you want to be able to be real busy, right? To the point where you do need a partner. But in the meantime, in between time, that person could just be a sounding board. You could be a sounding board for one another. You could share different marketing tips. You could share different stories and so on and so forth. My cousin is in Arlington. It's funny because yeah, she's in Arlington, Texas, and she just started mentoring her. She's watching a lot of videos, getting information from me, taking courses and stuff like that. And she just started getting jobs, and sometimes it takes a little longer for other people. Okay, cool. It takes a little longer for some people. But like I said, if you're not getting the results you want, if you didn't sign up for those 50 to 100 companies, then that's probably why you need more. Let me look at comments. See? See, I'm telling you, notary buddies are important. Remember in elementary school, you had to have a you had to have a buddy in school, to go to the bathroom or something, or when you were on field trips, you had to have a buddy. Yo, in life, we need buddies. We need buddies. And in this notary field, it's not a lot of people you can call on. I'm in the process of creating like a hotline similar to NNA where you can call. But if you are my notary mentor, mentee, you know that you can call me, you can text me. I have a monthly program that's only $17 a month. So you have access to call and ask quick questions. If you're on a job and you're confused about a form, you can call me and I will be able to help you. And then I have a longer mentorship program, which is like $110. So there's so many different ways. I'm actually not from a borough. I'm from upstate New York. So I'm not a city gal, at all. I'm a country. I'm city smart, but I'm definitely, from the country. I'm from Dutchess County. But I was born in Westchester. So I was born in Mount Vernon, but we moved to upstate New York when I was like 8. So I always represent upstate New York because that's where I spent most of my time. Yeah, yeah, I heard about that group. I don't tend to be in a lot of groups. I think when I first started, I was in a lot of groups, but as many you can attest to, whether it's notary groups or not, sometimes you ask questions and people just jump down your throat, and it's a bit much. So I suggest when you go into these different groups, go to the file section. Go to the file section, see if any documents are in there. Go to the search icon, the little bar, the magnifying glass, and put in questions that you may have, keywords, and find old posts to see if you can get your question answered before you go ahead and put out a post. Nah, I don't think anybody is a leech per se. If you can get free information, then get free information. But if you're willing to sow a seed and utilize and spread your resources, then spread your resources if you have it. There was a lady who paid, she said she only had X amount of money, and she gave me her last bit of money, to get her to the next level. And, she was in a domestic violence situation. She was just like out. She was just out of it. And I almost gave her money back, but the only reason why I didn't give her money back is because she made money like the next day. After having a session with me, she did what she was supposed to do and she made money the next day. So I was like, I didn't feel so bad. And but if you are in that situation where you feel like I am just out, I do I'm about to answer your question right now. I give away 1 to 2 free services a year anyway. So if you tell me, and Andre is like that too, Andre Hatchett is like that too. If you're out and down, or if you really do want to take one of his courses and you don't have it, ask him for a promo code. Better me, peace and love. Tiffany, so if you go to my channel, my all my information is there. So once we get off of this and you go to my channel, or any of my videos, you can see, like, my Instagram is Notary Wellness Mentor. On If you're on Clubhouse, it's Sister Alexis. My website is the Notary Wellness Mentor on Teachable. And I would love for you to be able to shadow me. Most states won't let you shadow. We can call me as a signing agent. I can call and find out if they will let me. But because you haven't been vetted from the company, usually it's shunned upon. But there are ways around it. So it is possible. If you prefer to stay off of Facebook, that's fine. I do get business through Facebook, but it's only a couple of times a year, where it's like maybe 3 times a year I get a closing from Facebook from my business page. But it's not really necessary. You don't have to have it. It really depends. What I get from Facebook is a lot of general notary work. So you do get notary work there, and it could just be a simple business page. It doesn't have to be. I don't recommend doing it from your personal page, because your people could care less. They're not interested, right? For the most part, once they see a couple of posts about what you're doing, they're like, okay, cool. We've heard enough. We know you're a notary. So I would not spam your regular audience. Definitely, if you're going to do it, do a business page. Is it essential? No. For me, it's essential. Every business I have a Facebook page for, but that's because I know that my audience will be there. So, I make amazing soaps, so I have to be on have a Facebook page. I have the virtual assistant business that will help and support you all to signing up for different companies. So I know my market is there, so I have to have a business page. So that's the way it is. Any other questions? Hello, hello, M&S Mobile Notary, Lou, Miss Bell, peace and love to you. Couple of other insights. Just keep in mind, yeah, you're welcome. I'm one of those people where, like, sistership, brothership is so important to me. I love helping y'all. I love helping y'all. I love when y'all send me pictures of your checks, and love when you send me pictures of your jobs. And Stanley, I answered that earlier. Groundworks inspection. No, I don't. I don't know anything about groundworks. I can look into it. And then I can report back. But I don't. I don't go live that often because I live in 2 homes. My main home is in Maryland, but being that I'm newly married, I stay very often in our new home in Virginia. So I don't get that great of service when I'm out here. So I don't go live as often, but I will be going live more often this month. I can't tell you about next month, but I can tell you this month I will be going live a little bit more often. So if you just hit the bell to get notifications, then you'll know when I'll go live. But I have a lot on my mind in regards to notary work, and because with Clubhouse just rolling out and being on it so often and talking to different people, I want to be able to just share more information with you all, because I just feel like, I promise you, yo, like I put everything on this. If you are with me, or if you are in my group, or even if you're with Andre Hatchett, if you follow everything that you're advised to do, and that's with any program, you will get the results. You will get the results. Just like no way around it. You will get the results. Unless your particular area is just not working well. And I tell you, I live in one of, you couldn't tell by my area, but I live in one of the poorest counties in Maryland. And if I can make the type of money that I make on living in the poorest county in Maryland, you can do it. So I have a free Facebook group that's called Notary Hustles. And I want us to redefine hustles because I've been having this conversation so much about the term. Some people are like, wow, this is not a hustle for me, and so on and so forth. But if you look at the full definition of hustle, is it's also the term, the definite by definition is to be aggressive. It's to be aggressive. It's not about scamming people. It's to be aggressive. So let's redefine what hustles is. But Notary Hustles is a free Facebook group that I have on there. And then I have a paid Facebook group that is just for my notary mentees that I have all different types of group. I have forums on there to thank you. I appreciate that. I had people inboxing me saying, this is not a hustle. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did not mean it that way. I I can help you go through the documents. I could pretty much help you with whatever is necessary in this business. I feel very confident and comfortable to say that. Any other questions? Period. Knowledge is power. Period. Get as much as you can. Thank you so much for following me. I probably will actually go on Clubhouse and do a quick audio after this. Any other questions? If not, then I will sign off. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It felt good. I haven't done a live or done a video in probably like 2-3 months, to be honest with you. I had to take a little hiatus. Like I mentioned to you, my husband and I started a farm. So we have 100 chickens, 10 goats, 2 donkeys, 3 dogs, and we are working on our greenhouse now to get ready for spring. So I kind of adjusted. That was the one thing that I like about this business, that I can adjust for the seasons. That's always been my motto. I want to adjust for the season. So when spring comes, I can be focused on more of the notary stuff. Right now, usually this is a time where notary work slows down, but because of COVID, I don't think that's going to happen like it has done in the past. So what I do now is I work a couple of times a month and I get what I'm getting. Thank you. Thank you for the congratulations. That was a long time coming. Let me tell you, anybody who knows, if you have been divorced, trying to find a new partner or manifesting a new partner can be very difficult, especially if you're someone who has oddities like me. You know what I mean? So it's weird. It's sometimes it could be very weird, but I'm so grateful to have found an amazing partner. And I would tell people just stay focused. My my king was not in this field at all. He is a plumber and a chef. So he feeds you, and then when you clog up the pipes, he clears them. So so but he was very open to learning it. He became a notary, he became a signing agent, and he became a photo inspector. Clubhouse is a app that you have to download, and it's only for iPhones. So if you don't, I heard they do have an Android platform, but it doesn't work yet. They will roll out another one that will, I guess, include everybody, Android and iPhone, but it's just for iPhone users at this point. But it's an easy business. I watched this man work. Tiffany said she got invites, y'all. So if you have Android, pardon me, if you have Apple, you can reach out to her. Mine is Sister Alexis. On Clubhouse. So just stay mindful. Yes. Good. I'm telling you, it works out so well because with SnapDocs, you can sign up as a business. So when I get jobs, I get a lot of direct business. I don't do a lot of SnapDocs anymore, but for the jobs that do come through SnapDocs, I sign up as a business, not as a single person. And then I get jobs through them. When I get assigned through them, if I'm not available for him, he doesn't. So it works out. It works out. I love being able to work with him. He is so amazing because he's